how are you?
Good to see you.
I have to say, I've been so looking forward to chatting with you, just in general, but also about this new project, of
Thank
course.
you. That means a
So
lot.
listen,
Huh.
I have to know the backstory, right? Not only like how did this project come about for you, but how much like fun was it for you to say yes to this opportunity? Like, and how do you feel like this particular film has lined up to all of the almost 70 plus other projects that you've been a part of at this point in your career?
That's really cool for you to say. I forget often about the length of time that it's been until I start thinking about the actors, the castmates, the teammates whom I've worked with. And when I think about their careers often, where they went and have gone, it makes me realize how long my career's been. It's true. And it's just beginning in many ways. I've learned that in the past 2 years, and maybe to answer your question, part of me learning that is my dive into this or my interest in being proven there's an interest in the sci-fi world. It was really nice going to Comic Con and hanging with all the blurs, right? And thinking there is such a place for Black nerds and for folks that don't feel necessarily like the projects that I've prior done and or the characters that I've inhabited that I could sit down and have a conversation with them at a table where they would feel that I'm as relatable. And taking on these projects have allowed me to be seen by them, to be heard by them more. And so I was excited about that, just sort of adding to that sci-fi world that I'm really enjoying being a part of. Inclusive in that time was this movie I did with Halle Berry that won't see the light of day, but I did it nonetheless. And that being this movie, Mothership, that Holly and I did. And so that was probably my first moment of realizing how fun it would be for me to be on a set where the genre was sci-fi. But the fact that I got asked by Kevin's company, that was a big
Yes.
Kevin, because Kevin and I are like 25-year friends. There's so many years that
Wow.
I mean, if I'm honest, it might be closer to 20, 27 years. We've known each other so many years.
Right.
And it's a really dope thing that he and I are working together now. And we're working together in other capacities as well. But even for his team and his production company to say, hey, oh, come hang out. And for me to meet at Matty Oates and to learn what he's about, it just was an amazing thing, big picture included, and all the things that'll come from, this opportunity. There'll be a lot of things that come from it.
Listen, Amari, you know I got a bone to pick with Jonathan. I want to know. Listen, it's so much going on with Jonathan. I'm like, listen, is Jonathan a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he just like fully in work mode? Is he like this master manipulator? Or is he just all about protecting the people? Like, how would you describe your character, Jonathan, throughout this movie? Because so many question marks are there for me.
Yeah, I think I do my job right when there's question marks, and I don't run, as you know, from me and Michael Ealy sat down and had a really great conversation in Toronto, coming off this project in Toronto, and he said, oh, I remember, and we talked about our pride in each other, and he stated that it just really did something for him in terms of being a bro of mine to watch me in the midst of power go to do sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just truly my job to play as much of a representation character wise of that which represents me. And I think I just will always be attracted to the characters that leave you going, what is it? Oh, is he red? Is he fuchsia? Is he orange?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, I want to like him. And see, even if I get you saying that you want to like him, then I
Yeah.
got you enough, and I get that you would have a bone to pick, sometimes not necessarily because of what he's doing negatively necessarily, but perhaps because he's not giving you any definitive thing as to who you could paint him as. And I think I really am attracted to you and hopefully the millions of other folks who have watched me past and watch me in the future and them and then ending their conversations about me as an actor with, yeah, but he was unpredictable. You kind of didn't know what O was going to do. And so I try to make the characters equal to that. What I think is that this guy's very guilty, is what I think. And I think that he is overcompensating for the
Yeah.
guilt that he feels. Now, if that guilt has to do with loss in his life, perhaps loss of a child, perhaps loss of a wife.
Which I have associated with the toy car. I'm just like, I feel like it's something going on like behind this toy car. Like, did he lose a child? Did he lose his son? Or, what's going on there?
I think you're right. I think you're right that there is something of loss that he has experienced, and the best thing he knows to do with the loss is to put it in feeling found. And
Yeah.
ironically, as you know, when people are lost, they don't necessarily take the time often to get found. They will act like they're finding out other people.
Yeah.
And so what he's doing is
Yeah.
trying to find out Croak, find out Lulu's Renee, find out what's happening over on that side of town. Instead
Yes.
of maybe looking in the mirror and spending some time trying to find out who he is. I think a lot of deflection, maybe the word deflection. But I think you can have an empathy for this guy. I think you can root for anybody who is still trying to do their job, because you stated it best at the end when you said, or is he just trying to protect and serve? I think there is still that at the
Yeah, no.
end.
And I do, it's so interesting that I associate that sympathy and that empathy behind the character Jonathan with that something as minute and minuscule as a toy car. I'm like, there's a story behind that, you
Yeah,
know?
I grabbed it. It wasn't in the script, but I was an athlete, so I never really thought that coaches are asking you to just come to practice. I think they're asking you to come to practice with some shit, like what,
Yeah.
because you're gonna lose your position. So as an athlete, it's interesting. I haven't thought about that, but the older I get, maybe I've never stated it to anybody like I just did to you. You
Wow.
come with something because you lose your position. There's always someone vying for your spot. I don't think I've thought about acting with the same thought of competitive edge that I had to have as an athlete, but I think it's forever embedded in me and I can't get rid of it. The thought is, but what am I bringing to Matthew Oates, who's our director? I need to bring a bag. He'll look in the bag and he'll say, I like those three things, keep those four out, but I like those. And so the car was just one of the little things I put in the bag and said, Matty, what are you thinking? And he said yay to it. So we went with it.
Mari, I really hope that we eventually down the line have a lot of more time to talk. I know we have to get ready to wrap because you have so many other things on your plate. But I do, before I let you go, I have to give you your flowers, and the team is probably going to be upset with me. I have to take a couple of seconds to give you your flowers because I don't know if you know, and if you follow like the fans and the social media and the blogs, all of those things. But you are like known to be one of the sexiest men in Hollywood.
Girl, get out of town with all that talk there. Stop with all that talk. Your minutes is up. They're scratching the record on you now.
I'm telling you. So I want to give you your flowers because you are considered to be one of the most sexiest men in Hollywood. And I appreciate and respect your craft and all of the work that you have done, everything that is to come, and everything in which you are embarking upon.
Very, very humble. When's your birthday so I can give you a birthday shout out?
October 17th. This right around the corner. I'm a Libra. Yours is January 9th or 10th, if I'm not mistaken.
You nailed
You're a
it, Jay.
Capricorn.
You nailed it, Jay. And you're a Libra. Everybody likes you. You're a Libra.
Thank you so much for your time, Omari. I look forward to talking to you.
Birthday. God bless you. I appreciate you.